Hello. Hello. I am Alisha Richard, and I would like to say thank you all so much for watching A Rich TV on today. So I recently did a podcast on the A Rich Life podcast, and you could actually find it on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, wherever you can find a podcast. And in this week's episode, I talked all about the importance of talking to your children. I know that it is back to school time, and we are getting ready as parents to get our students ready to go to school. We are preparing for their meals, and we are preparing for their clothes, everything that we have to do. It is so much that we have to do as a parent. So I just want to give a quick recap on what I talked about in today's episode. So the first tip that I talked about is how important it is to talk to your children. I know myself as a millennial mom, I find myself being easily distracted by social media, and before I know it, like the whole day is gone and I'm not spending that quality time that I need to with my sons. So the first tip that I have for you is talk to your kids. Make sure that you have that conversation. Ask them, how was your day? And after you ask them how was your day, ask them, well, who did you play with on the playground? What activities did you do in school? Who were your friends in school? Do you like your friends? Did you have any arguments with your friends? It's so many things that we could ask our kids, and as parents, a lot of times we get so distracted by like this old world. But in the podcast episode, I talked about the questions that you could ask your kids and what you could do for them. I do have my note card in my hand, so if you see it, I just wanted to make sure that I go over all of the tips. The next thing is to do bedtime stories. I honestly do bedtime stories with my kids all of the time. I seriously do. And it is so important that we set the tone the night before so that when they wake up in the morning, they could be intentional about their day. I remember a lot of times when I was a kid, like my mom used to read all kinds of stories to me. She used to read, particularly, she used to do like a lot of Bible stories and really just talk about God and the knowledge of God and the power of God. And what I really wanted to do is to bring that to my children as well. I know as a millennial mom, sometimes we really just, don't take the time that we need to read the bedtime stories because we are so caught up in trying to get ourselves together. So what I want you to do is not to say we got to go back to like the old time way, but sometimes the old time way really does work. Like, let's go back to, talking to our kids before they go to bed. Let's go back to making sure that we have those conversations with them. Ask them about the story that you're reading to them. Ask them, who are the main characters, or what did you like about the book, what you didn't like about the book. I think a lot of times, we just get so caught up and time just really, really goes by and we don't realize how important it is to spend time with our children. So that episode was all about that. The last point that I made is milestones are so important. Like once your child turns 1 year old, that's a milestone. Once their 2 front teeth start coming out, that's a milestone. Once they turn 5, that's a milestone. Once they turn 13, that is a milestone as well. And if we don't get a grip on time, if we don't get a grip on, interacting with our kids, and that's regardless if you are a parent, if you are a mentor, if you are an aunt, whatever your role is, like let's get a grip on time and let's really show up, not just on social media, but show up for the kids. Let's show up for the people that are looking up to us. Let's show up to them because it matters and it counts. And what I said in my podcast, and I'll say it here, is that if we do not focus on our children, then they will be walking, breathing kids, and they will be empty inside. They would have all the social media likes, but inside they're careless. Inside they don't contribute to society. Inside, like, they would just be a mess. So what I want us to do as a parent, what I want you to do as a parent, myself included, is let's take time with our children. Let's make sure we have those bedtime stories. Let's make sure that we talk to them. Let's make sure that we ask them about their day. And if we just set a time where it's just like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, no social media during that time. During that time, I need us to focus solely on our children, to talk to them, to read to them, to make sure that we understand who they are and let them know, like, girl or boy, like, you count. And if we do not continue to invest in these children right now as they're in elementary school, in middle school, and in high school, we will have a generation of kids that do not care about anybody and anything but themselves. So let's start right now. Let's start today in investing in our children and making sure that they are just what they need to be. So thank you so much for listening to me. If you like anything about this episode, make sure that you follow me on Instagram. On Instagram, I talk a whole lot about, self-esteem and building yourself up, building yourself in your career, being disciplined. I talk a lot about a whole lot of stuff. So make sure that you follow me there. The website, arichlife.co, is coming very, very soon. Make sure that you just follow me. Let's just do this together, y'all. Let's come together as a community of not just women, but men and women, and let's just put our foot forward and be the best that we could possibly be. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I want you to live a rich life. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.